looked at them in more detail. Welcome to American Dream Garage. Today I'm going to do the follow-up video on my 1995 Range Rover Classic long wheelbase. From the first video I showed the rust issues that it had underneath and how bad they were, and then I also in that video did an update where I had it partially torn down. So I have completed it. I'm ready to drop it back on the ground. Couple things that are undone. I bought a new set of tires and I've got to obviously get it out to get those mounted. The shocks that I ordered for the rear were unavailable. I'll get those in a couple weeks. And then the footwells, actually the footwells are down here. I already have a clip of it, but and those are for the front. So anyway, the front part I will complete in the spring once I drive it through the winter. So I wanted to get it back on the road, so I will show you the work that I did, as well as maybe some comparison clip to show you what it looked like when I started. So we'll start from the back. If you can recall, the frame was in pretty good condition. This rear cross member was replaced when I bought the truck because it was rusted. This is a new bumper. I did actually get the carpet out of the inside, and the whole rear floor was replaced. I was unclear from the body shop what they did. So here's the rear fuel tank carriage, which the other one was a total mess. I did end up replacing the mud flap holders, or what is actually the lower part of the wheel well. Mud flaps bolt in here, so if I want to put mud flaps on it, I can. The old one was pretty much rusted mess. So I've got the rear sway bar links and ball joints in and replaced. I powder coated the sway bar, got new sway bar bushings. All these nuts and bolts are new, which makes the assembly much better. I took the springs off and cleaned them, and then bought new rubber for top and bottom, because the other ones were pretty much shot. I cleaned up and powder coated the dust shields, painted the calipers, although they get dirty pretty fast, put new protection on the wires, cleaned up the brake lines. Again, the rear, same on the other side. The rear link, I had to put one of the old nuts back on it. Some of those things were kind of hard to find. This is the upper link ball joint, which was the part that I had the most trouble with, so it's been replaced. I powder coated the upper link arms, got new bushings for the upper link where it meets the frame. Again, new bushings here. This is where the air suspension box was. Also cleaned up the brake lines, all new brake lines, and replaced the brake lines that were originally severed. Why I got it up in the first place, and then bled the brakes. I got new brake pads, So anyway, I think we're good for a while, and that's the rear, and that's where I'm going to stop. Okay, I'm sitting here in front of my junk pile, or my graveyard of parts, and you know, I do have a tendency to keep this pile while I'm working on the car, so if I sweep up, I sweep it into a pile, and I usually don't have the big parts in it, but it allows me to, if I can't find a nut or a screw to replace it, I can go back through here and generally find the part. So looking at the areas where I had issues, most of the rust, a lot of the rust was from that fuel tank carriage, but these mud flap holders and wheel well protectors were pretty much totally trashed and had to be cut off. These sway bar ball joints, you can see the bushing in it was totally gone, but I was able to get those off no problems. These are the shock mounts, and I was able to get them off fine, but these bushings were frozen to the shock mount, so luckily I could find those. The biggest problem I had was this, which is the center link, and you can see the bolt sticking out of it, so both arms go on either side. Let me see if I can focus this better. So both arms go on either side. That bolt sticking out was frozen, and I used my press with 14-pound or tons of pressure, and that bolt wouldn't budge out of there. And also the actual ball joint itself, you can see, is pretty much part of the metal now. So fortunately, and I had to cut the bolt off to get it out, so you can see quite a few of these bolt heads which had to be cut off. Probably 10 or so in total that I had to cut off. This box over here is what's left of the air suspension brain. There's the compressor and all the electronic parts. You can see that box. It doesn't make sense to me they would mount all that equipment outside in a non-sealed metal box in the undercarriage, probably why those systems all went bad. So anyway, all of these are what was left over.